Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Pitstop podcast. I'm Jaco van der Merwe. I'm joined by Mark Jones and Charles Bosch. And this week, let's see the return of, let's call it the bare bones plain Jane Golf. The 8.5, which obviously we're still sitting with the 8 in GTI and in R guys. We never got, they decided to discontinue the entry level models there, but because of all sorts of reasons, it's coming back. It's been about 4 years since they haven't offered those models. I think before we start diving too deeply into it, I think the elephant in the room here, because a lot's happened since 2021, and whether we're comparing apples with apples now, money is money.
Correct.
R1 is equal to R1 here.
I was going to say R1 equal to about 3 cents or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, $3 but let's not go there. Yes, so starting at 580,000, going up to 688, all of them powered by 1.4 TSI.
Yes.
That's been around for a very long time.
Yes.
Making 110 kilowatts. Mark, just straight off the bat, 580 can buy you a hell of a lot of car in the Chinese stables. And 580 there, apart from now the full screens and everything you'll be getting, the digital, the infotainment, there's going to be a hell of a lot of extras, which you need to fork out extra for that 580. Just in terms of price, I think people are kind of itchy about, kind of shocked, you know?
Yeah, I got to be honest, 580 at first, you go, wow, 580 grand for an entry-level Golf. It's still a Golf, yes, it's Golf 8, not Golf 1. We're aware that life has changed, but that's a lot of money, and as has been the norm for a number of years now with VW, you can go through quite a comprehensive list of options, and by options, I don't mean brilliant, great, add-on stuff that you never thought you wanted. This is sort of a little bit of infotainment, a little bit of add-on for wireless charging, almost like you alluded to. The stuff that you would get standard in a Chinese car, you're now going to pay a fair whack to put it in a Golf and then pay over 600 grand for an entry-level Golf.
So, Charles, we were talking about the pricing. We've said this over the years, the Polo GTI has almost become the new Golf GTI in terms of popularity because of the pricing of the Golf that's gone up to, you know, higher than most people want to pay or let's say can pay. Now the Polo starts at 580. Polo GTI is 585. The entry-level Golf is 580. Will this now be the ultimate test for the Golf and the brand's heritage and brand loyalty to see how many people goes back to a Golf?
I think it's going to be. We all know that Golf is going, it will probably sell a bit on its name. It's a Golf. It's back. We've been waiting for a while. Not everybody wants a GTI. Not everybody wants a R. But that's why the main reason is they discontinued the normal Golf was because GTI and R made up the fair chunk of its sales. Everybody wants a GTI. And as you mentioned, yes, the Polo has now fulfilled that role, but it's going to be a big test for Golf because people have been, well, probably not everybody, but some people have been saying, look, we don't want a Polo because it's too small. It doesn't have, in their mind, a lot of power. They wanted something a little bit bigger. And now Volkswagen has decided, okay, well, we know we're not going to sell a lot of them because it's a C-segment hatch. We all know that segment is now very much SUV focused with smaller with T-Cross and a bit bigger with Tiguan. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough sell.
Mark, what VW has said that there are rental companies who's looking to fill that space in a way, and like Charles said, obviously, some people who's driven a Golf all their life and just love the brand and love the offering. But in many ways, the reason why SUVs have become so popular is because of the practicality. That's why the Polo, you get like a T-Cross option.
Yeah.
That's higher ground clearance, that's more practical. That's why Golf had almost, can you say, the Golf-based T-Roc.
Yeah.
That's what came out. Going back to now a thing that's technically less practical, how appealing is that? I mean, it just...
I'm not convinced. I mean, I hear the marketing speak, and I guess what they're trying. And a VW Golf is a good car.
Yeah.
It's always been a good car. I like it. I look at the new styling. I think it's pretty cool. And if you've always enjoyed, I've had a couple of VW Golfs in my day, great car. And you look at it and you think that's where it is. But it was there maybe 10 years ago. In my honest opinion, this segment is dead. To drive a Golf instead of an SUV these days, it's going to be a big ask. And you saying GTRs and Rs in the Golf 8, you didn't see many on the road.
No.
They're expensive. 580 grand is, 2,000, is probably a 12,000 rand a month or 10,000 rand plus month installment. A guy needs to earn a good 40, 50K a month to drive a Golf, entry-level Golf. I hear what they're doing. I'm just not convinced why. I just don't get the whole, maybe it's to bring just some niche brand appeal back and then not bring the Golf 8.5 GTR.
No.
You kind of go, what's their thinking? That was the only one that did sell, kind of, and now they're bringing the one that didn't sell back. I'm convinced somebody in a boardroom had a bright idea and somebody said, let's sell some Golfs and see what happens. Sell 10, sell 100.
Yeah.
But I can't see it doing any volume.
And the fact is that what we were told, the car was unveiled at Volkswagen's product in Durban last week. Completely took us by surprise. We knew it was coming, but we didn't know it was going to be revealed there. Was the reason they're sticking with that old 1.4 is because of the country's fuel quality.
Yeah.
The car cannot run on the new 1.5 that you get in Europe, and the hybrids cannot run on the country's on our
the
fuel
GTI
quality.
and the R.
And that's the reason, exactly. That's the reason why they're only bringing the Golf R and the GTI, if it's approved, in 2027. When there's this new, they call it Clean Fuel 2, which is Volkswagen and a bunch of other manufacturers lobbying government to bring in cleaner, unleaded fuel.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, cleaner standards, because they've got a filter that they've said, because of Volkswagen scrolling down their internal combustion engines, it's focusing on electricity. The cars in Europe come standard with this filter that's supposed to block out particles and for fuel, and you cannot take that out. There's no way that you cannot take it out because it is compatible with that engine from the beginning.
And what about cost? I mean, you talk about hybrids and latest 1500 engines. I'm sure there's a cost factor. I'm certain if they could bring us the latest, greatest, I think 580 would be a pipe dream. A hybrid kind of car is probably 680,
Yeah.
I just think they're going to then price themselves out the market. So besides the fact that the fuel's busy messing us around, it's why most of our manufacturers aren't playing in this segment at the moment.
Yes.
Simply because the good stuff overseas, the efficient stuff overseas,
Yes.
is just going to cost too much.
Just as a comparison quickly, when we were at Renault at the end of last year, the head of Renault said that everything they pay is in euros. Doesn't matter where the car's sourced from, India, South America, wherever. And he was saying that at that stage, if the exchange rate fell below 18 Rand 50 to the euro, then they could bring any nice stuff.
Yeah.
Now, from Europe, they can bring it here. But cost is going to be a factor. That's one of the reasons. And unfortunately, that is prohibiting us from getting GTI and whatever. So I don't want to call it a recycled engine because it's still a good engine, even though it's been around for a very long time. But it's going to be that whole thing a couple of years ago, you paying over R1 million for a combi, for instance, and people were saying, how can you pay 1.1 whatever million rand for a Caravelle? Now you're saying you're paying that amount for a Golf, over R500,000 rand for a Golf that's not a GTI. And even though we like it, it's going to be a tough sell.
It's a great car. I mean, I look at it, I think I would drive one all day, every day.
Yeah.
If I probably wasn't paying for it.
Yeah.
If I had to spend my own 600K, I would shop a little differently, maybe. I mean, I do. It pulls at your heartstrings because it's a South African icon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's financially, it's going to be a bridge.
Especially the way the world has changed and the way the market has changed, and very quickly.
Correct.
Yeah, and we in South Africa, are we dealing with a very real Chinese influx? The Chinese don't bring anything but SUVs.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not interested in this hatch segment. And they're really pulling hard. For 600 grand, you get a very serious other car. And those salesmen are trained to go and say, no, don't buy a Golf, or you're mad. It's all the bad things. It's entry level. You're stupid. It's got nothing. Come buy our car. It's got everything. And That's the selling tactic. The VW salesman's going to trade on, hey guys, we've been in South Africa forever. We're a staple of South Africa, right up there with the likes of Toyota, Ford. You should drive a Volkswagen. And there are going to be some.
Definitely.
But some is the word, I think.
Yeah, well, if it passes that test, we'll have to look. We're going to follow that very closely, what the sales numbers will do. And obviously, when we get our hands on one, we will probably just reiterate what a good car it is.
Yeah.
But
We
what a
cannot
conundrum.
wait. We
Yes.
cannot wait because it is a big improvement over the old Golf
Yes.
8. We were not a big fan of the Golf 8.
Yeah.
So let's hope, because in the flesh, that 8.5 looks good.
Agreed. I can't wait either. But,
Yes.
Let's
But
wait.
once we get,
Proof will be in the pudding.
We'll report back with all of the goodies. But for the moment, that's it from us. Thank you for listening this week. You can share this podcast, you can like it, or even better, follow our YouTube channel. That's all from us for this week. Thank you very much for listening.